Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Elize and it is my absolute pleasure to come to you live on our HubLive again today, this Thursday, just after 1. As you know, we do these HubLives to help our entrepreneurs and business community adopt technology and modern best practice to ensure that our business journey is more profitable and more enjoyable. But what I've been doing over the last few weeks, or maybe 2 or so weeks, is talking to some of our members in our Smart Hub community about what they're doing, what businesses they're working on, and what they've learned in their business journey so far. Now today, I have a super wonderful surprise, which is I have 2 really young entrepreneurs on the couch with me. Hello Emily, hello Cooper, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Hi Monique. I love it that people are anticipating our Hub Lives now. So great. Hey Tanya, hey Chris, thank you so much for joining us. We're talking about all things entrepreneurship today with Emily and with Cooper. How are you going?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Excellent.
Good as well, thank you.
Wonderful. So the whole focus for today is to talk about entrepreneurship at a very, very young age. Now I have to say, I have 2 young daughters, and one of my big passions in life is for people to be able to forge their own destiny in the world. And I am extremely proud of these 2 young people on the couch with me today, because that's exactly what they're doing. So I'd allow you guys to introduce yourselves. Maybe we'll start with you, Emily. Can you tell us how old you are, what your business is, and what you're currently doing? And then we'll go to Cooper.
Of course. So I'm 20. And I have a business called Settle Pedal Yoga Mats. They are completely biodegradable and eco-friendly. All have beautiful designs. Yoga mats for adults and kids as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Let's show you the design on this one. This is absolutely beautiful.
So this is our cherry blossom yoga mat.
Cherry blossom?
Yeah.
So who did these designs?
So we design all of them and send them off to get put on our yoga mats.
Brilliant. So we'll talk a little bit more about these yoga mats in a minute. Cooper, tell us about how old you are and what you're working on.
Cool. So yeah, I'm Cooper Weldon and I am 17. At the moment, I'm currently working on Zite, which is basically a platform where you're able to find, book and pay for services. But yeah, previous to that, I had a t-shirt business, which was my first business.
Yes. Well, that's actually how we found you, Cooper.
Yes.
So I might just tell the story of how I see you're wearing
Yeah,
this.
I've got a
awesome. So what happened was Cooper was interviewed on the television and got onto the news with his t-shirt business. And then we at the Smart Hub were planning a startup weekend. And of course, every startup weekend, everyone gets the t-shirt, right? Which says something like that, startup weekend. We've had different colors and different designs as we've traveled through. And someone around the table, I forget who that was, it might have been Scott Thomas. Scott Thomas said, why don't we get that guy who has the t-shirt business that was on the news? And so Courtney tracked you down and you supplied the t-shirts for us that weekend and you came along.
Yes.
And I don't know whether you've not left ever
No,
since.
yeah, so I basically, got a message from Courtney and she's like, we'd love to support local business, which I was like, wow, this is awesome. And I didn't know a space like this existed. So I was like, wow, okay, I want to be involved in this. So yeah, I said yes to printing the shirts. So I've done the last 3 shirt orders for the Smart Hub for this startup weekend. It's been a ball. Loved connecting in with the space.
And there'll be more. We're
yes,
doing
for
some more
sure.
startup weekends next year, which will be super amazing. So you essentially, that was when you were 15, because that's probably a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So you had your first business at 15. Is this your very first business, Emily,
Yes,
or you've been in business before?
No, this is my first business.
So what did you do prior to being in Settle Pedal?
So before Settle Pedal, I basically just worked in pharmacy 6 days a week and just worked all the time.
Wow. And what's the transition been like from working full-time for someone else, obviously being an employee, to then you purchased this business, right?
Yeah,
you bought this business,
yes.
And tell us a little bit about that journey.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. It's happened so fast. So I was just working all the time and then I found something that I was really interested in, this business called Settle Pedal Yoga, yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just can't miss this opportunity and decided to take it and just been working on it and building it ever since.
When did you buy it?
It was 20 weeks ago now.
20 weeks ago, yay! Yeah. That's brilliant. Well, congratulations for taking that step. So what gave you the courage to transition from a full-time, like a wage, to now being your own employer and your own employee and doing it for yourself?
I think it was just the lifestyle and being able to just work for myself and do something that I'm actually passionate about and just enjoy it.
That's excellent. So have you resigned from the pharmacy?
I still do weekends there and help out, but it's still nice to have my regular customer interactions, but it's also good to have my saddle pedal yoga mats.
That's so brilliant, so brilliant. Now, I know that you've been part of our Turbo Traction Lab program, so we're going to talk a little bit about what your experience was. But first, I want to go back to Cooper. So, Cooper, you transitioned from a t-shirt business to a technology platform. That's a pretty big jump. Tell us how you made that transition.
Yeah, well, initially, my t-shirt business, obviously I started when I was about 13 and then came into the space at about 15, Smart Hub here, and then got involved in a few of the startup weekends, which I definitely recommend people attend because they're so awesome. Like
You
learn
won
so
the last
much.
one, right?
But it's
you won some cash.
Yeah,
That
it was a very, it's such a good weekend, like in meeting and networking with people. And yeah, so basically I did one of those, and that's where the idea was initially kind of born, and that it was very different to what it was initially. It's pivoted a lot, but I guess the concept was born there, and then was surrounded by mentors and people that could kind of help me, and then I've kind of just networked a little bit in different spaces and a few spaces down in Brisbane as well, which has kind of given me a bit of a support network around me to kind of give me tips, and Elize coaching me and mentoring me along the way has been a very...
So tell us the core of what you're doing. What's the problem that you're solving, and how are you solving that problem?
Yeah. So the problem I'm solving is the overall is cash flow. So for small businesses, getting paid on time is a big problem, and a majority of them have to wait like up to 30 days for invoices to be paid. That might be as little as say $50 for a lawn mowing to be completed. So they're there waiting for it, and for a lot of these businesses, they might be turning over big money as well, but they'll have times where there's actually very little money in their bank accounts. So they're not able to pay workers, and they're not able to pay people that are their providers of the service. So by creating using the new payments platform, we're able to pay them instantly. So getting the money into their account in real time, so that enables them to solve that problem of...
So is it almost like PayWave without the person having their credit card there?
Yes, so it's what you call zero-touch payments, which is basically the card stored, and then once the service has been completed, you're able to get the charge off that card, similar to what Uber uses in the fact that once you get out of the car, the transaction is complete. So it's that whole marketplace.
You register your credit card, and then
you're able to
automatic. How wonderful!
So it's very ease-free. So if you're at work or you're at shopping, they're able to come and do the job, and then you're able to rate them based on what their work was like. So.
That's excellent. Yeah, cash flow for small business, well, for every business, but small business particularly, and micro businesses, it's like the thing that usually is that determines, life or death, not necessarily success, because you can have a lot of invoices in the marketplace and just be waiting on payment and run out of cash in the meantime, which is then not ideal when you're in business, when you have obviously employees and other expenses to cover. So good on you. So how far is this platform from being used? Can people contact you now and jump on? Or
well, at the moment it's still in development. I have slowed it down a little bit just with school, because I am just going into grade 12 now, so I've tried to just focus just so I can finish that and do that well. That way I feel that it would be handy to kind of, because I've come up to this stage of my life, like doing 11 years of schooling, I feel it would be a good idea to kind of, so I've been trying to juggle both.
So let's talk about that. How have you been able to juggle school and essentially being a business person and doing both simultaneously? How has that been?
I think, just time management has probably been a pretty big help, and a mum that's kind of kept me organised in a way. Yeah, thank you.
You do have an amazing mum.
But yeah, I guess that's probably been the biggest thing, is like helping, like if I have an appointment straight after school, she'll kind of run me there, or just that's helped me be able to make it busy. That's already busy with school, but make it even busier, if you know what I mean. So
yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. So school is your next focus, right?
Yeah, for this year I've finished grade 12, and then that way I can kind of still work on stuff on the side, but definitely focus more on school, just so I can do that well, and then that's completed and to a good level. So.
I honestly have been part of our community for a few years now. I can't believe you're going into year 12.
Yeah, it's
I feel
crazy,
like,
isn't
you
it?
know, you shouldn't be. It just feels wrong for you to have grown up so quickly. Like you feel with my own kids. I
Yeah,
feel
it's
the
a
same
weird
way.
feeling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially for me, yeah.
Absolutely. So, Emily, you've been part of our Turbo Traction Lab. That's how you became involved in the Smart Hub, really.
Yeah.
So where did you hear about us? How did you become involved? How did that application process work? And what have you experienced in the last 16 weeks?
So when I was purchasing this business, it was like a few weeks just before the lab started, and my dad was like, "Oh, I heard about this place called the Smart Hub. We should go down and get some business advice."
Thank you, Dad. Yay! Get business advice at the Smart Hub. Awesome.
So we came here and I spoke with Courtney, and she told me about the Traction Lab, and I applied, and here I am in the Traction Lab.
Oh, brilliant.
And it's been just amazing helping me learn a lot about business and how to get traction, not just in Australia but all over the world. It's been amazing, and the mentors that we have, it's just can't even explain.
Yeah, it is a bit difficult to explain the actual experience of it, but I will just give a little plug. Applications are currently open for Lab 3, which will commence at the end of January, start of February 2020. And the applications are getting more and more competitive, and the level of entrepreneurs applying also getting more and more competitive. But if you're sitting on a business that you'd like to take global, please do apply. I'm sure Court or Jacinta will be posting the link and the comments so that you can apply. Yeah, Courtney is pretty amazing. You meet with her and she gets you into all kinds of things, right? Anyone can come and meet Courtney at the Smart Hub. If you need any help or advice or place to work from, please come to the Smart Hub and come and have a chat to Courtney. She'll definitely be able to answer all your questions. So I know that on Tuesday we had the demo night for Turbo Traction Lab, which is essentially our celebration, and you did a presentation.
Yes.
And you mentioned on that night that you now are going into a wholesale market in the US. Tell us more about that.
So basically, I've been contacting a lot of studios in the US, and then one was really interested, and I sent a mat over for them to try, and they absolutely loved it, and they want to start a wholesale agreement in the new year.
Yay! So, congratulations,
That's very
Emily.
exciting, yeah.
And you only bought this business 20 weeks ago. Already you're going to export to the US.
Yeah.
That's absolutely phenomenal. So tell us a little bit about these actual mats. What is special about them?
So they are completely natural materials. So the bottom is made out of tree rubber, and the top is a microfiber suede, and we put all designs on with natural inks as well, so it doesn't harm the environment at all.
Or you.
Yeah, no, so, and it's completely non-slip as well, so if you're a sweaty little yogi, you're not going to slip at all, which is good.
And the designs are beautiful. How many designs do you have?
So at the moment we have about 12 designs and 4 kids designs.
As well.
So, yeah.
That's really, really amazing. And I do know that you sell locally, so people who want to purchase one of these locally, where do they go to find you?
So they can find me either at settlepedalyoga.com online, or we are going to be at the markets on the 20th of December over at the Riverside.
The Christmas markets here on Key Street?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. The 20th of December, which is next Friday.
It is.
Yes. Far away at all. Yeah, I know. I've seen a few of your designs, and they're absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So, what is the number one business lesson that both of you have learned over the last little while? Cooper, I'll start with you.
Probably the biggest one is finding a problem that exists, and if you can solve that problem, then there's a business there to kind of, there's a market for it, because if you can find a need big enough. So I guess one of the other lessons we learn is finding a hair on fire problem that really exists and that is really bad for people, and then being able to solve that, you can make money to be able to do that. So. Yeah.
I think that's one of the greatest things of being an entrepreneur is you can actually solve real world problems, which means you can make life better for people. Plus, you can create a job for your own self and maybe jobs for other people. So there's so much good around being in business. Do you think you'll ever work for someone, Cooper?
Probably not. After I've always kind of found ways to do different things to be able to work for myself. I'm always open to give different things a go, and that's kind of my outlook after like doing my own business, it's kind of just changed my outlook on from working for someone to then being your own boss and being able to work not just your set hours but extra hours at night, or being able to put in the extra bit, you know.
Yeah, one of the advantages is obviously the flexibility.
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Emily, up to you, or back to you. What do you think is the best, like, or not the best, but any lesson that you've learned in business that you think is worth sharing?
Probably just keep contacting people and never give up, sort of thing, because you just need to get inside, like keep reminding them that you're there, sort of thing, and just reminding them that you have the solution to their problem, and just don't let them forget that, basically.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I think we have this quote in one of the quotes printed on the banner in the Turbo Traction Lab about how many no's you need to get to a yes, and how that persistence and keep asking and keep being in front of people and keep contacting people, how important that is.
Yeah.
Have you found that easy? Is that natural for you, or have you had to work on
I've
contacting
definitely
people?
had to work on that. I'm a very shy person normally, and I've definitely grown a lot, I think, since doing the Traction Lab and reaching out to people. I've become a lot more confident with talking to people, especially in the US. It's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. I guess that's a good lesson. Do you have any other lessons that you'd like to share?
I guess my other one would be networking is like super important in business. Like I guess going to like different conferences and like, yeah, I didn't initially know how powerful it can be, but just like going and taking that step to go and meet that person, introduce them, and just then having them, like LinkedIn, powerful tools like that where you can, just keep your network all in the one place, and then using it later if you have an opportunity you can go into, then they're like, oh yep, let's work together, or just having that for the future as well, not just for the present. It's always, you can never network with enough people, I think. So that's been a really powerful tool for me, I think.
Really love that. So I do have to ask about your age. So you mentioned networking. What have you found people's responses been to the fact that you're so young?
I think both like mixed. So some people have kind of been like, oh, you're a bit young, but then other people have been like, wow, like that's really crazy that you're young, and like I didn't know young people were like that. I've had that like quite a lot. So it was kind of interesting, like that whole stereotype of what young people really are, and then talking to people and like networking, and then having them kind of go, oh wow, okay, nice to meet you. Like I'd love to help because you're young. Like I would love to mentor you or provide my advice, which has been awesome for me to be able to learn as well and grow in my experience.
So do you feel like in some ways you've received a little bit of preferential treatment because people have taken you under their wing? Like, oh, this guy's so young and he's having a go. That's so amazing. Yes,
definitely to a fashion, but then also like it can be a struggle at times because I am younger. They're like, yeah, oh, are you really serious kind of thing? But it's kind of, but you get that in anything, I think. So
absolutely, whether you're female, whether you're young, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
There's always something with people,
sure.
you know, there's always a downside.
Yeah.
So, but how have you responded to that kind of feedback? How have you gone when people have said, oh, but you're a bit young and I'm not sure, and, you know, raise the eyebrow? Yeah,
well, I've kind of just kept on, like kind of proved to them that I, like, just because I'm young, like, doesn't mean that. So yeah, I've kind of, just continued to stay in conversation and talked in a manner that, you know, is very, like, tried to be as formal as I can, so then that way I relate to them in a way that I might not be 17, but I can still like kind of have the presence of an older person, if you know what I mean, when I communicate with them, because I think that's a very key thing, is being able to communicate with them on the same level and understanding each other in a way. So just like not being childish, obviously, because I'm younger, so that's helped a lot.
Yeah. And I have to say that you do come across as very professional and very mature for your age. Well, very mature for any age, really. You do come across as that, definitely. Crystal, thank you so much for joining us on today's HubLive. We're talking all things entrepreneurship, as we did with you guys last week, or the week before last week. But I'm on the couch with the lovely Emily and Cooper, and we're talking about what it's like to be in business when you're young. So Cooper is only 17, and he's been part of our community since 15, and Emily is 20, and they're doing an amazing job for Emily selling actual physical products, yoga mats, and for Cooper building a technology platform called Sites, which is an instant billing platform to help small businesses with cash flow challenges. So really two amazing people on the couch with me. Please, Monique, Tanya, Chris, Crystal, please, or if you're watching, and please give us a like or a comment so that we know that you're watching and we can say hi. Please ask any questions. Cooper and Emily would love to answer some questions, so if you have a question, just pop it into the comments and we'll definitely respond then. Hey Simon, thank you so much for joining us for speaking all things youth entrepreneurship. So Emily, have you found that age has been an issue? Has anyone gone, oh, you look a bit young, or?
No, it hasn't for me personally. I think because a lot of my contact, especially with the US, has been over the phone.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been like, how old are you? Which has been a little bit good to my advantage.
Yes.
But yeah.
So when you call people, it's just a sales process essentially.
Yeah, sometimes I call them to see if they're selling like yoga mats already or yoga accessories and seeing what the market is like, testing it over there.
Yeah. And people, what has the response been generally?
It's been pretty positive. A lot of people, some people said that they didn't really have time or that they already had one that they were happy with. But a lot of people were really excited, and I threw in the Australia. They were from Australia and they were really excited about that.
Oh, that's awesome. I think that's a little business tip.
Yeah.
If you want to do business with an international market, especially America seems to really love Australians. That's good, hey, that's definitely to our advantage. Is there any other business advice that you'd like to share, and then we'll move on from this topic? So finally, any other business advice?
Probably not like majorly, no.
No?
I think, yeah.
Okay, very, very good.
Thank
Now, what has it been like for you guys to be part of the Smart Hub community? Because we have about 86 members, we have 2,000 people in the greater community, people show up to events, we have a co-working, so it's an open space, you've been in the Turbo Traction Lab, so there are people around all the time. What's that like for you at such a young age?
Well, I guess it's been like probably the biggest thing is the growth opportunity that I've had. Like you'd never be able to receive the information and the networking opportunities if you were to say go on something like YouTube to learn. Like, so it's just that whole like you're able to see world-class people coming here, giving their advice, giving their lessons, wanting to mentor you. So it's been like I think growth and networking and then just learning in general has just been awesome. And then just being with like-minded people where we can bounce ideas off each other and kind of support each other has been another amazing thing. So I think that's probably just been an awesome experience overall of the Smart Hub.
So overall, it's been easy and a good experience.
Oh, 100%, yes.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Emily, how about you? What has it been like?
It's been amazing, like the support and like just everyone wanting to help you like grow your business and learn. It's just been incredible. Basically, they're always here to help you go that one step further and learn how to do something.
That's awesome. So what would you like to say to young people considering, going into business for themselves, or if they have a passion for business or a problem that they want to solve, what would you be saying to them?
I think the biggest thing is like, the first thing that with my t-shirt business was doubt. Like, yes, like just take that step and just do it. Like, it took me like the whole holidays to kind of just take that step to actually just do it. And then once it happened, you can kind of sort out all the problems along the way, but just get that product out there, talk to people, tell them what you're doing, and then you get like an amazing response. So yeah, just kind of take that step and don't doubt yourself was probably the thing I'd like to share with everyone. So.
Absolutely. So even if you're feeling the doubt, you should just take the step anyway.
Obviously to a degree, but I feel being young, it can be a bit daunting because people think business is such an old person thing.
Yeah.
So you kind of like, when you graduate but it's really not. I think if you can just take that step and do it, then great things can happen. So.
Love it, love it. Hey Katie, thank you so much for joining us. We're talking all things youth entrepreneur or young entrepreneurs with the amazing Emily and Cooper. Emily, what would you say? What has it been like, and what would you say to someone who's young, who's considering being in business?
Yeah, much like Cooper, like you need to like just take that leap. It can be daunting and scary, but you never know unless you try it. And if it works, then that's fantastic. But definitely test it out. Try and get some validation beforehand and just go for it.
Absolutely. I love that. Validation is super important, and it's something that we very much focus on in the startup weekends and in the Turbo Traction Lab, where You don't just sit on your bed and you go, oh, I think I have a good idea. I'll sell, inflatable elephants. I'm sure everyone would love that. No, you have to actually validate. You have to test whether people want to buy what you want to sell, and you have to figure out who the people are that will buy what you want to sell, the specific problem or frustration or pain point is that you're solving, and then be able to talk with them in their language. That's really important. But that's part of being in business. So when you do that, you don't really fail per se, because if you realize that no one wants inflatable elephants, you can just change your mind and go to whatever it is that you've discovered that they do need.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome, 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 awesome. Now, from our perspective, we think that you guys are absolutely amazing, and we're so proud of you. And we hope that you can inspire the rest of Rocky's young people and youth to take a step and to work in whatever you're passionate about, and to link in with organisations like the Smart Hub, because would you agree that support is key?
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Where would you be if you were just working on this on your own in your bedroom, which is what I'm guessing you would have been doing?
Oh, probably not in America, that's for sure. Not selling over there. I probably wouldn't be that far. Like, the support has been amazing.
Yeah, I'd probably be the same. Like, I wouldn't have that knowledge or the learnings or the connections that I have today if it hadn't been for the Smart Hub. It would have taken me lots more years kind of trying to work on that on my own if I, which I've kind of grown a lot in the really quickly because of the Smart Hub. So I think that would be like how short a time I can grow when you're in a community like this with like-minded people would probably be the biggest thing.
Brilliant. So last question, what does 2020 look like for you, for both of you?
So for me, it will definitely be finishing up school, graduating, and then, looking at how I can, obviously take Zeit, if there's, a definite market to then take that to the next level. And then, kind of wrapping things up with school so I can look to the future for, what work looks like and, business.
Brilliant, brilliant. And I know that you've been working with the developers in Brisbane and all of that's ongoing. So are you going to continue down that path for a bit? Yeah,
well, I think definitely need to, see what the future lies with it still. But I definitely want to pursue it and see.
Beautiful. But finish school
but,
first. I do agree with that.
Yes.
Actually, I really do. I think you go.
I think, just having, like, as much as you don't necessarily need it in business, like having that Year 12 certificate and having good marks is a good thing, I think. So being able to take that and then saying that you've completed it to a high standard, I think is good, rather than going all this way and then kind of letting yourself down in the last few years. So absolutely. I think that's probably why I want to focus on it so much next year. So.
Good. Well, we wish you all the best with Year 12.
Elize. Thank you.
We look forward to seeing you graduating, and then we look forward to seeing you back in here full time. That'll be awesome. Emily, 2020, what does it look like for you?
So next year is just growing Settle Pedal and hopefully breaking into the American market even more, and hopefully going even further across the world.
Love it.
But that's basically it, just keep growing.
Good on you both. Thank you so much, Cooper and Emily. Zeit and Settle Pedal, thank you so much for joining us on the couch, speaking all things youth entrepreneurship. If you have any questions, or if you would like to purchase one of these amazing yoga mats, or talk to Cooper about Zeit and how you can maybe just get on his waiting list for the platform, please feel free to reach out to us either through a private message or just comment, or give us a call at the Smart Hub, or you can always just call in, walk through the front door. The reception area is just to your left, and we have a wonderful, very friendly and gorgeous lady waiting there to meet you called Jade, and she'll definitely take you around and show you the Smart Hub and answer any questions that you might have. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Is it too
Merry
early to say Merry Christmas? No. Merry Christmas to you. Hope you have a really wonderful holiday.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.